Let's talk about the anatomy of a viral music hit. Hey guys, it's John here with Hyped It, and today I'm super excited because we're doing an interview. On the line here with me, I have Robin Brix. He's a music producer over in Germany. He goes by the artist name Pyrictus. Covers a whole lot of genres. Right now, dance pop is where it's at. But Robin was amazing because he reached out to me just about a week or two ago and letting me know that one of his tracks had absolutely blown up on YouTube, on Spotify. You know, he multiplied his fan base. He got millions of plays on all those platforms. He got into Spotify charts, got like trending on Spotify. It's been an amazing success for him, and I'm here first of all to congratulate for his success, but what an amazing opportunity also to record a video and dive a little bit deeper into the anatomy of a viral hit and see what you guys can learn from his success. So, Robin, welcome. Super excited to have you on on video here today.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome, Robin. Let's jump in here with some of your background story. Like, tell us a bit about your music and how long you've been making music.
So my musical journey has actually started in first grade already when I began taking piano lessons, and I had a huge luck with finding the right piano teacher because he was as supportive as possible. And one day I decided that I wanted to attend university for music. And he taught me so much about music theory and practice. But fortunately, a couple of years later, I decided that this is not the right track for me. And instead, I want to study music production instead of general music. And so I began producing digitally in 2013 with my first release in 2015. And I actually did attend University for Music Production from 2017 up until 2 or 3 weeks ago when I graduated. So I have been actually releasing music for the past 4 years, both for myself. So I just produced the music I like at the time, and for other people, which is the reason why I'm here today.
Yeah, awesome. Well, congrats on graduating as well. That's
Thanks.
Awesome. Now, before success, usually for us music artists, right? It's a long path, and it's a path that has its ups and downs. Like, tell us some of the struggles you've been dealing with as an independent music artist. I mean, before you had this hit.
Yeah, I think the biggest struggle that independent artists run into is the marketing aspect, because they have to do all the marketing themselves. And for me, at least, this led to not really being heard, because I have never been a marketing genius. I've made so many mistakes marketing-wise. So actually, up until this release that we are talking about today, I just produced music and I put it out there and I submitted it to promotion channels who respectfully denied my request, and I absolutely am with them there, because looking back at my music back then, I would have rejected the music myself. So no bad blood at all. And I did offer free downloads and follow gates and everything, but since I forgot about this last and, in my opinion, almost most important step in the circle of creating music, the marketing, I got no listeners on my music. And in my opinion, listeners lead to feedback, and the feedback that you get is the only way that you can improve quickly. You can't really rely on the feedback that friends and family give you, because they are going to love whatever you do anyways. And so for me, having no listeners led to not getting any feedback, and this led to not improving as quickly as I could have. And I think this not only kills motivation, at least it did for me, but it also slows you down. And I guess that's the biggest issue that independent artists who don't have a label that handles all the marketing run into.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, I'm big on the success formula that first of all, the key to success is your fan base. Are those listeners that give you feedback? Are those fans that support you? Not just because they share your music, but because also they buy it, they come to gigs. I mean, they are the ones who really are your customers, the foundation of your success. and getting there, in like from my point of view, is a simple success formula that combines, you know, good music plus download gates plus effective music promotion, and that's sort of the key to success. Now, this formula is, you know, it's easy to mention. It's a little bit more complex to execute. But now you got that last piece in place, that effective promotion, because you got your last track like absolutely blew up and went viral. So let's go right there. Maybe, you know, tell us a little about that track, what it was about, how it came to be, and how it turned into a viral hit. Like what happened there?
So actually, I wouldn't essentially say it's my track at all, because if I had published this song myself, I'm sure that it wouldn't have gained anywhere close as many streams as it has. So the story is that I have been collaborating with a German content creator over on YouTube called Kalle, and he makes gaming videos. He started out with League of Legends, and nowadays he does all kinds of different games. And I once reached out to him, and for the past 3 years, it sometimes happens that he texts me and says, Robin, I need some kind of background music for my gameplays or something. And I would produce the songs, he would use them, and he would support my channel in return. And just like this, it happened a couple of months ago that he said he needs, he again needs music for a gameplay video, and he wanted this Russian hardbass meme song kind of vibe. And I had never produced anything similar to this, but I was up for the challenge, and I got to it and I started producing it. But sadly, we kind of lost track, and we kind of lost the sight of the project somewhere in the middle of the feedback loop. And it wasn't until a couple of months later that he got back to me and he said, look, my 100,000 subscribers mark is coming up, and I want to do a subscriber special, and I want to use Spandauer Popmusic, Slawische Popmusic, that's the title of the song, as the song in the video, and not only as background music, but he wanted to do a music video for it. And this is where it really became interesting for me as a music producer, because as much as I like producing for Kalle and with Kalle, and as much as I like producing in general, I am at a point where I have to think about how things are going to pan out in the future, and where I have to pay more and more attention to marketing. And since it's way easier to drive someone from a music video to your Spotify account or whatever than it is to convert someone who watches a gameplay video, passively listens to background music, to get this guy to look into the video description, find the Spotify link, go to your Spotify page and follow you there, that's highly unrealistic. So this was the point where I thought this just got interesting. And so I finished the production of the song, which didn't really take long at all. He produced the video, which is just a bunch of German YouTubers dancing around like crazy, like you know it from those Russian hardbass meme videos. And for numerous reasons, when we released it, when he reached 100,000 subs, it performed really well. We reached the #1 position on YouTube's trending general page in Germany, and we hit #1 on Spotify's viral hits playlist in Germany too, due to our excessive linking to the Spotify song. And to this day, we have accumulated more than 1 million streams on Spotify, and more than 4 million, or close to 4 million, I think, in general. So it performed really well, yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, look, congratulations on that success.
Thanks.
And for, like, if you're watching this video right now, I'm going to put links to the original video and Spotify, and all of that's going to be down there in the video description. So, you know, you can definitely head over there and check it out. Now, how has this sort of success changed your music career and what you're doing right now? How does it make you feel? Yeah.
To be honest, first of all, it makes me feel great. It's a real push and motivation. But in terms of how it changes my career, I'm still finding that out, because I think, sadly, in the music industry that we live in nowadays, everything is about the numbers and not essentially about the music that you do. So, for example, the promotion channels, the giants at least, like Mrs. Suicide Sheep or something, they always say that they don't care about how many streams you have, how many subscribers you have, and I'm sure that they personally think that. but as many submissions as they get, they have to rely on indicators such as stream count and whatnot. And I think you have to differentiate between getting those numbers once and getting them consistently. And I just got them once. And the goal is to have these numbers consistently. But what I have to do now is build upon those numbers. And so this is the point in time where I have to get in touch with labels and promotion channels. And I'm doing this. And it's way easier than a couple of months back because my stats just look way better than they did in January or something. So, for example, a huge German channel called Pete's Meat found the video and apparently liked it because they decided to reenact it. And that doesn't mean that I will produce their next album, but at least it put me on the radar, and I think that's more than worth it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And before we hopped on, you talked about your fan base and what this did to your fan base. Why don't you tell everybody here how did this help the growth of your fan base?
So this actually comes down to two factors. One is Hyped It, and the other one is Kalle. Because obviously, without Kalle, if I had released the song myself, it wouldn't have had the same success. And he really pushed the song. He used it over and over again. There's a 10 hours version and everything, and I'm linked everywhere. So this is a huge boost in marketing, no doubt. And of course, all those other versions that are out there, like an 8D kind of thing that surrounds you and something. This really pushes you. And on the other hand, it's Hyped It, which, to be honest, I didn't use too much before this release because, as I said, I have been very bad at marketing. But I remember that when Kalle came up to me with this idea of Slawische Popmusic, he said, put that thing on Spotify. People are going to want to listen to it. And you're going to get at least 10,000 streams, he said. And I thought, yeah, great, now you're completely out of your mind. Nobody is going to want to listen to this. But since I'm with DistroKid, it doesn't matter at all because I can just use my unlimited uploads and it doesn't cost any extra. So I did upload it to Spotify and all those other platforms. And when it then eventually blew up, I was kind of shocked, but fortunately I reacted quickly, upgraded my Hyped It plan to improve the follow gate, and using this follow gate I managed to then double my following, at least on YouTube and Spotify.
That's awesome. Congratulations. I mean, it's just an amazing story how you built this relationship with an influencer. You obviously sharpened your music skills all along the way, and then there's this one moment where it all comes together, where like the music's at the level, that relationship with the influencer is at the it's just ripe for success, and it all comes together. I mean, I've watched the video, I've watched the reaction videos, and it's just hilarious. it's so much fun. So just some big congratulations on all the success that you've seen. Now, to close it out here, what are sort of 2 or 3 tips or tricks you would want to share with other independent music producers and music artists who are watching this video and are aiming for the same sort of success that you had? What's some of the things you would want to share with them?
I'd say, first of all, do the marketing, because I have learned the hard way that if you don't, it won't work out and you won't have the listeners and it kills your motivation. And this leads me to number 2, actually, build the connections. And I'm not talking about other music producers. I'm also talking about people who you might think might not even be worth connecting with. For me, that's content creators. For other people, it might be the local cinema who needs music for their newest advert or something. Just build connections to people who need your music and who might need you in the future. And this leads me to number 3. When the time comes, just take up on any opportunity that presents itself, because I think that artists often tend to take themselves and their music way too seriously and kind of stand in their own way to success. Not saying that I'm having huge success now, but this wouldn't have happened if I would have gone hardline, just whatever fits to my profile. Because when Kalle approached me with Slawische Popmusic, as I said, I'd never done something like this before, and I probably won't ever produce hardbass ever again because it's just not my kind of music. But still, I did it, because what you have to remember about this kind of production is that it really doesn't take too long. So in comparison, I have this single called Thorns and Demons that I spent over 200 hours producing because it was a huge project for university. But I spent a lot of time for it, and before Slawische Popmusic, I think it had less than 1,000 streams, so virtually no one listened to it. In comparison to that, I spend no more than 4 or 5 hours producing Slawische Popmusic. So you can really fit those productions for other people into your schedule. There are no excuses like I don't have the time. These productions don't take long. They don't get popular because they're engineered perfectly. I mean, Baby Shark is not a musical masterpiece. It's just in the right spot at the right time, and you can do many of these productions because they take so little time, and only one has to work out like this one did for me. I had numerous productions like this before, but this is just the first one that worked out, and it didn't hurt that these previous ones didn't work out because they also took like 2 or 3 or maybe 4 or 5 hours. So just don't take your music so seriously and just have fun from time to time.
Yeah, I think that's a great recommendation. And actually, as you're talking about it, reflecting back on sort of what I'm doing, sometimes when somebody invited me to work on a track, on a music genre that is completely separate from what I usually do, it is fun projects, and you stop second guessing all your decisions because you're doing something completely new, and I think it makes it just easier to just come together and you're less critical with it because it's not not what you're doing day in and day out. So it's a new field anyway. It's easy to be sort of proud of those accomplishments. More quickly in a separate area. I love it.
It's also a pleasant break from what you do all day, every day in the genre that you try to follow.
Yeah, right. And it might inspire your main genre with some new influences there. I totally agree. And those fun projects, they are what we call them. They are fun to do. So I think, and if it leads to success the way I've seen it, it's even more of a reason to sometimes go there and just do it. I love it. Robin, thank you so much for sharing your story.
No
really
worries.
appreciate it. Absolutely amazing. Again, the links to the video and where you can find Robin's music is going to be all here below the video. So just open it up and check it out and enjoy the music. All right. Thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel here, and see you soon. Robin, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.